Hi everyone. So 4 days ago, I decided that I was going to take a 30-day blog challenge. That meant I was going to turn my hobby, writing blogs, sharing my opinion, into a habit. And to do that, you have to do it every day, and you have to practice, and you have to turn it into a habit, right? So I was really excited about that, and excited that I made the decision that I was going to do it. And then I had a friend, a mentor that I shared this idea with, challenge me to turn it into a 30-day video challenge, in which I thought he was crazy. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold, by the way, so this is another challenge, is that I'm doing things in spite of my physical world, right? Just because I have a cold doesn't mean that I can't write, or doesn't mean that I can't do a video. So anyway, he challenged me to do a 30-day video challenge, and though I'm not taking that yet, I've never done a video blog. This is really outside of my comfort zone, actually, so I'm doing it. So Ed, here you go, I'm doing it, and I wanted to do it by, I could probably talk for days, I can rant, but I wanted to read. I started to blog. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background here. I've actually been self-employed for over 2 years, and my first venture is I do hair. And I no longer wanted to work for some big corporation. I'm a single mom, and I wanted freedom. So 2 years ago, that was when I started my journey to being an entrepreneur, to being self-employed, to being a business owner. And I wanted to share the blog that I wrote earlier this week, that I actually shared with my clients. I wanted to share it with everyone else, to kind of let you know where I started on this journey, and that it's already been 2 years, and I didn't start on the online world. I started in the physical world, and now I'm ready to take it to new places. So I'm going to read this because I don't have it memorized, but again, this is just this is my first video blog, so maybe at some point I'll get to where I can just sit here and talk with you and not be rehearsed or not read from a script, but I'm going to start here. So this is a moment of reflection for me. This was a moment for me to look back and really see where I started, and even though I haven't reached all of my goals, I'm really grateful for where I'm at right now. So here it is. Entrepreneur. Someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. I can remember the spring of 2012, spending hours on the phone with various people in my support group, asking them all the very same question over and over again. Do you really think I can do this? It was almost a uniformed yes. You see, the people who stick around in our lives long enough know what we are capable of, and this situation was no different. Though my boyfriend at the time and his family had overwhelming doubt of the success of my own private salon, they hadn't been around me very long, which meant they had little clue about the battles that I had already fought and the wars that I'd already won. So, of course, their opinions were politely dismissed, and I moved forward. Like someone else we are hopefully all very familiar with, I had a dream. A dream to be a young single mother that was not only able to monetarily provide for my son, but also have the flexibility with my career to be almost full-time mom as well. Though this idea sounds impossible to some, I have refused to accept anything less. And that, my friends, is exactly what I have right now. Freedom. So back to the spring of 2012, I had just signed the papers, took out small loans for my family, and opened up my own private studio salon. My own creative space where I didn't have number-crazed managers breathing down my neck or ungrateful clientele. This space would be my space, and anyone else's whom decided they were comfortable and happy to come back to me. There was one problem, though. I didn't exactly have the clientele at the time to support this wonderful dream that I had. So, this meant Mama had to get to work. And I gave myself 2 years to build my business, so that way when my son started kindergarten, which is when we would sign some of our time over to the public school system and move to the next chapter of Logan's life, I would be able to pick him up from school every day. I've talked about parenting before in some of my other blogs. If this is the first time you've ever heard or seen or read my stuff, you haven't heard my rants yet, but I've talked about parenting before, and though I use the term single parent, technically I guess you could say I'm a split parent, meaning his dad and I made the choice to parent from separate households, which has been a happier thing for everyone involved. The downside of that is there's a lot of time and precious moments that I won't get back. So my time with my son is the motivation of the success for my business. Because of my situation and other life experiences, I truly know the value of time and was not about to waste it any longer, personally or professionally. So I did it, May of 2012, and every month since I have taken a leap of faith off the entrepreneur cliff and have built plenty of planes on my way down. Now, I'm not writing this blog to brag. I'm not sharing this video to brag. I actually wrote this blog to express my utmost gratitude and say thank you. It's very likely that if you're reading this, or maybe if you're listening to this, watching this, that you have put numerous forms of value into the wishing pool of this dream. Maybe your family who's always supported my individuality and my persistence, or a friend who saw past my faults and adores me for the transparent friendship that I provide. Maybe you're a client who I've enjoyed several visits getting to know you, while I created a new, refreshed version of the you that walked in my doors. Or maybe we've met in passing via the physical or even virtual world, and we're no longer strangers. Even better, maybe you're someone whom I haven't even met yet, but after this blog, you decide to veer off the blog page, book an appointment, and see what all the rave is about of having a hairstylist that is honest, creative, and vulnerable enough to be your friend too. Whoever you are, reading this, listening to this, watching this, thank you. We are now almost a month into the kindergarten year, and know that when I walk up to Logan's school every day to pick him up, I am grinning from ear to ear, filled with gratitude that I set an intention over 2 years ago, I followed through with it, and have gained a following that supports it, and me 100% in what I'm about. I want to share this. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Melody Beattie. There's no end in sight for this art that I call hair therapy. To all of my supporters, I have been and will continue to be grateful for each and every one of you and for what you have brought to my life. Getting your hair done at Shaylin Sweet is supporting more than just a small business. You're reinforcing and sustaining my right to keep dreaming, keep achieving, and keep living. Until next time, thanks guys.